Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pip and Pin Podcast. My name is Megan Nodecker and I'm a knitwear designer and teacher in Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. You can find me on Ravelry as Knit Pip and Pin, on Instagram as Pip and Pin, and on our website pipandpin.ca. It's been a very long time. I've kept meaning to film and things just kept coming up. We've been really busy with a lot of different stuff that I'm going to talk a little bit more about later, but YouTube just kind of went onto the back burner for a little while. But now that I have some more knitting that I'm doing and things that I'm making, I figured it was a good time to start back up again. So welcome back and yeah, I'll just jump right in. I really haven't had any finished things. I've been working on kind of one big project, and I've been a very, very monogamous knitter these days, so I really only have a couple things to share with you. I hadn't finished anything. I think the last time I filmed was back in November, December, and I know I was gonna show you, I told you that when I was gonna bring out my stockings. Did I show my stockings? I can't remember. I feel like I didn't because I didn't show them the year that I made them, and then yeah, I feel like I didn't show them again. So sorry, but they're packed away again, so maybe next year. Anyways, the thing that I've been working on the most, probably for the last few months, is very exciting. And it's almost done, which is even more exciting. And that is, let me get all these strands out of the way here. And you know what, I'm just gonna say too, it's spring break right now, and my daughter has her cousin over. So you might hear them. I'm not even sorry about it. Honestly, you know, they haven't really been able to get together too much over the past 2 years for obvious reasons. So, I mean, if she wants to have a friend over, she can have a friend over. So you'll probably hear them. They're a little noisy, and her room is right there. Anyways, the thing that I'm working on is the Sprocket Sweater. So if you are a follower of my designs, you would have seen the Sprocket socks, which is by far like the most popular pattern that I've ever made. And then we also have the Sprocket hats. And since those have been released, basically, I've been asked when the Sprocket Sweater is coming out. It's almost done. So here it is. So this is the yoke. So it is a circular round yoke sweater, and all the increases are kind of cleverly hidden in places. I did post kind of a thing on Instagram, a picture that I took in my bathroom when this didn't have sleeves and the bottom wasn't quite done yet, because the short sleeve look really cute, but I did decide to put sleeves on it, and I am very happy with my decision. I've made many short sleeve tees, and I've designed many short sleeve tees because I really love the way they look, and I love the way they are. I love the idea of them, but I myself, where we live, I don't wear them very often. So I wanted this to be something that I would be able to wear. So I did add the long sleeves. I did keep it a little bit cropped, so it hits kind of just below, I'd say, my pants button. So it's not cropped, but it's definitely not long. I might add some length to it. We'll see. But one of my favorite things about it is obviously this slip stitch color work. That is Sprocket all over it. I also did, instead of a ribbed anything, I've done folded hems for all of my finishings. So the collar and on the sleeves, because the sleeves aren't you know, they don't have the typical cuff. They're a little bit, I'll show you. They're a little bit like looser. Like they're not loose or anything, but they're more like you would find on a long sleeve t-shirt almost. They're not like a sweatshirt where it kind of comes in at the end. And then on the bottom too, I did the folded hem as well. Now, if you're looking at this sweater, you're probably thinking, what the heck is going on with all these crazy strands? The back is even worse. You can see that line under the color work. This is my first yoked sweater design. I've knit a few, so I know the construction and I know kind of the different ways that you can do it. I decided to put in short rows after the color work to raise the back up a little bit, but I did them too much or too far around, so it just added, first off, it made the back kind of baggy in a weird way. And then it also, I didn't take into account that there would be lots of extra rows here, so the underarm was quite droopy as well. So I figured to just take them out. So I did some surgery as I like to do, and I literally just kind of cut it almost completely in half, took out that whole section of short rows, and then I just used the Kitchener stitch to graft it back together. I obviously did not do a fantastic job of my Kitchener stitch, but I wanted it to be a little bit looser so that I can now, like there's a couple places where I have new threads, so now I can actually go back with a needle and just tighten those up a little bit so that it's even with the rest of it. So I'm gonna fix that. There's not gonna be a line through the sweater, and then with blocking, hopefully it will even out even more. I did do something similar with my Winsome Floral sweater. I added in some waist shaping that I didn't like, so I cut it in half and added just normal straight body, and then I grafted it back together. That was black yarn. And so any imperfections are totally not noticeable at all. This is light gray, so it is gonna show a lot more. So I am gonna have to go back and make sure that I tighten these up, make them look pretty so that you don't have that weird seam looking thing. And then of course, holes at the underarms and things like that. The yarn that I've used, let's see if I can remember everything. This light gray is from Leo and Roxy, and it's their basics. It is very economical. I think it's like $20 a skein or something. And yeah, so I used that for the body. I think it's a merino nylon. And the one thing that's nice about this is it is commercially dyed. Like they don't hand dye this yarn, they have it dyed commercially. And so I didn't have to alternate skeins, which was quite the treat. And then for this color work, I used a set, well, I technically used scraps, but I made sure that I wanted to try and make it so that you could use a set of 5 20-gram minis, so you could use just a set of mini skeins as you would get it. It's gonna work for most of the sizes like that. I think maybe for the larger sizes you might need a little bit more of the last color or two. I haven't really done the grading and the math to figure that out. Unfortunately, that's just how it happened. So this top color here, I believe it is Hypothesis yarns. I got it a really long time ago. Can't remember the name. This one is Barnyard knits, and their sock base, I'm pretty sure it's Winterberry. This brown kind of color in the middle, it's turning up a little more red on screen, but it's more of a brown. That one is Ancient Arts, and the colorway is called, no, that one got away from me too. This one here is Polka Dot Creek, and it's the Fallen Leaves colorway. I love this colorway so much. And then this is actually a single ply, and it is Sweet Fiber. Can't remember that colorway name either. But I'm pretty impressed that I remember all the dyers. So there's something. I think I have them written down somewhere, so I'll put it in the notes below, the actual colorway names if you are interested. I think the only one that you probably won't be able to get now, oh, this one is Nightshade. That's what that is. You probably won't be able to get that one. I don't think she dyes it anymore. I don't even think she's really dyeing too much anymore at the moment anyways, but it's a beautiful dark tonal purple. So yeah, that is Sprocket Sweater. It's gonna be done soon. It's gonna be a pattern. I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna fix up the back. I might add some length to it. I might take off the back or the collar and kind of add some short rows to the back of the neck. We'll see how it fits. We'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna release this pattern until it's exactly how I want it to be, so it might be a little while longer yet, but I am very excited about this one. So that's been sitting for a little while. I need to pick up a sewing needle and even out those stitches before I really do anything else, and block it again. It's been blocked a couple times already. For other works in progress, okay, so I started this pair of socks and I love it so much. This is the VAR socks by Fiber Tales, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. The camera's not picking up the color of this yarn very well. It looks better now back here. But this is the Yarnery, the Yakity Yak sock, and it's in Fiddler's green, and this was a gift, and she just chose the absolute perfect color. I knew immediately that I wanted a pair of socks, and then when I saw this pattern, it just made total sense. This is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. So these are gonna be super warm socks. It's a little bit like rustic-ish, but not itchy. Like, it's beautifully soft, and they're gonna be very, very warm. So kind of like if you've ever had like a merino mohair nylon sock yarn, it's kind of like that, except softer. I find the mohair makes things a little bit itchy sometimes. The yak does not. Anyway, so this pattern is absolutely lovely. So you start at the top and then do your cuff, and you actually embroider these flowers on, like you kind of do these little baubles while you're knitting, and then you embroider the flowers on after, and she gets you to do it kind of when it's before you start the heel so that you have more room to do it and to make sure that it fits. Can you tell what I'm gonna say next? I knit my heel and then started the gusset decreases, and then I tried it on. It technically can get onto my foot, but it takes some effort, and I feel like I'm not going to wear them. I'm not going to pick them up and put them on if I can't get them on. I have a bad habit of making socks that are too small, and I've noticed now that I never reach for those ones. I never reach for the socks that are too hard to put on because they feel tight and weird, and like you can't do it. So I took the needles out of these socks, and at first I was thinking I'm just gonna re-knit them as socks, but then I had a thought, and this I was just thinking about like as I was doing this. So I could potentially, because this embroidery is beautiful, it takes a really long time. It is quite intensive to get that on there. It took a couple evenings of doing it. So anyways, my thought about 15 minutes ago was I could put this cuff in here and maybe tack it down, and then have the flowers as a cuff for a glove. Like, how pretty would that be to have these flowers as the cuff, and then like actual fingers, like on a glove. Yeah, so that is possibly something that's gonna happen. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it for now and ponder whether I want to restart these socks in a bigger size or turn them into something else. But I know that if I finish them, I'm not gonna wear them. And I have too many socks in my stash that I don't wear already because I made them the wrong size. So I'm not gonna do that anymore. There's no point in finishing something if it's not gonna get worn or used or loved. So those are on the back burner for now. We'll see what happens with those. And then last night, was it last night only? Maybe 2 nights ago, I started something new because I organized my yarn the other weekend. I've been doing some spring cleaning, so I went through and decided that I just really don't like having a ton of yarn, and a lot of the yarn that I had in my stash was kind of extras from designs that I had done, and I don't typically use yarn twice, so a lot of it is quite old. Not old in the sense like old, but you know, I've used it before. I've worked with it. It's lovely, it's beautiful, but it doesn't need to sit in my stash anymore. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later. I'm doing a big de-stash, but as I was going through that, I also found my box of like mini skeins and kind of bits and bobs of fingering yarn, and I was playing with some colors, and I landed on these guys. And this is the Ocean Drive socks. This is one of my own patterns. The sample that I made is too small for my feet, so I don't wear them. So I wanted a pair that I could actually wear. So I kind of decided on these colors. And I started with a totally different palette. Honestly, I started with something totally different, but then I found the colors were just too close together and just not defined enough, so it changed. So the colors on here, I think the top one here is Leo and Roxy in their Vixen colorway, and this is one of their hand-dyed ones. This one is Sweet Fiber, don't know the colorway. This one is Yarn Ink, I think, maybe. Either Yarn Ink or Flock Fiber. Not quite sure on that one. Some of mini that I got somewhere. This one is Fidley Dyeworks in Lewis. I love this nice deep Pacific blue. Again, it blows out like when I take it too close. These are the real colors back here. This is some more Sweet Fiber. I think that's her Moss colorway. And then back to the Leo and Roxy. So yeah, I'm really excited about these ones. Also, I went up a size. So this is 66 stitches. Still a little, not too tight that like they're hard to get on, but still just a little touch tight on me. So I don't know what's going on with my sock knitting. These ones I am gonna finish because they're not so tight that they're hard enough to get on. You know what I mean? They're not as tight as the VAR socks. So, oh, and then I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel for the heel, and I have issues with heels because they just are always quite tight on me. I have quite a high instep, I guess. So what I did with these ones is, and I don't know if this is gonna work, I tried them on just before I started filming, and they do fit in the heel quite nicely. What I did is, instead of just doing the heel over half the stitches, so instead of doing it over 33 stitches, I did it over 37 stitches. So I actually slid 2 stitches over from either side onto my one needle and did it over 37 stitches. You can kind of see that the short rows come all the way up to here instead of just here. So I figured that that would add just a little bit to the length and a little bit more, you know, make the heel a little more robust. And it feels like it accomplished that. I'm not gonna know for sure until I do a little bit more after the heel, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I really like these colors. They're a little bit outside of what I usually do, but I like them. And that's kind of it. That's all I've really been working on. I keep thinking about working on my blanket and never really get around to it. Usually that's something I kind of work over the winter, but no, I just haven't felt the want to do that yet, but it'll come. Yeah, so for the shop, I talked a little bit about my spring cleaning. So if you go into our shop right now, there is a section for de-stash, and there you will find all of the yarn that I am parting ways with. So some of it is partial skeins or skeins that are already wound up. There are some that are just still in the skein. Lots of different things, lots of different kinds. And yeah, there's some good deals on there. And for Canadian, my Canadian people, because it is like a resale kind of thing, I tried to make it so that there was no tax on it, but I couldn't do it. So if you are Canadian and you do purchase something and there's tax, the tax will get refunded to you. So when I go to package your item, I'll refund the tax and then any shipping overages at the same time as well. For international people in the United States and elsewhere, you don't get charged tax anyways. So yeah, so there's lots in there. I feel like I'm only gonna have it up for a limited amount of time. So if there's something that you want, you should probably grab it. I think probably by the end of spring break, I'm gonna take it all down. So probably, we'll say by the end of the month. I'll leave it up until the end of March. So 2 more weeks, and then I'm gonna take all the de-stash stuff off and probably just give it to the thrift store, whatever doesn't sell. So lucky for thrift store, but if there's something you want, you should grab it. We also, we have something very exciting actually in our shop, and I got to collaborate with some lovely people on this. And these are our spring yarn boxes. So here is one here, and you get a cute little box with a flower on it. In this spring yarn box, you will find, I'll get this stuff out. Okay, so in that box, you're gonna find this beautiful skein of yarn from Bramble Ridge. And now this, she specially dyed for me. So that is super cool. It was really exciting and just a nice experience to work together with another maker. And I kind of had an idea of what I wanted and told her what it was, and then she just hit it out of the park. I said, I like this color and I like the speckles that you did on this yarn, and you know, she just made it absolutely beautiful. So this is called Bouquet, and it is on her superwash merino nylon DK. So it's an 85-15. So it would be good for socks or a hat. I was thinking Georgia really wants a headband out of it, so I might make her a headband. I kept one skein for myself, so I might make Georgia a headband, maybe some mittens or something. That would be very cute. But I just love it. It's this beautiful kind of tonal, like pale peachy pink, and then it has speckles of like brown and green and red and pink and mustard yellow. It's just so lovely. So yeah, that is the yarn that you get. Then you also, to match that, I made some little stitch markers, and these are hand beaded by me. I make them. And it matches very nicely with that, so you have a little bit of jewelry on your knitting. I also included a bag of tea because I really love tea. This is the New Moon Tea Company. They are local to British Columbia, and this is their Market Fresh. So it is spearmint, red raspberry, lemon balm, rose hips, ginger, and it's all organic. I think it's all organic. Most of it's organic. yeah, so you get 50 grams of loose leaf tea, and it's really lovely. I also got a bag for myself, and that's what I've been sipping for the past few days. And then last but not least, I did make some wool wash. So you will get an 8-ounce bottle of wool wash, and this is Bloom, and it smells like lilacs and lilies and lavender, so all lovely scents of spring. And I've actually washed my Sprocket Sweater. Every time I block it, I use a little bit of this too, and it the scent stays with it very nicely. I find sometimes you use it and it doesn't really, like, it smells really nice when you're doing it, and then it doesn't really stick around too long after that. But I can still smell it on my sweater, so I think that's very lovely. So yeah, there's also a couple bottles of these just singly. I think there's a few left that you can purchase just on their own as well. There was a couple extras, so I just threw them up there. And then also I made some more stitch markers and progress keepers, so there's a few more of those up there as well. So lots of new things in the shop if you want to go check that out. And then the thing that we've been working on the most over the past couple months, since, I mean, I guess we started working on it in December, was I have a course. I have a course now called Idea to Pattern, and it is for aspiring knitwear designers. And anyone who's been curious about it or wants to, or maybe is, you know, has started kind of designing things and wants a little more information. So I do have a new course. We just finished up the first kind of cohort. So it runs for, I mean, the first one runs for 6 weeks. I actually have some more filming to do, and I'm going to be adding more information to it. And I don't know exactly when the next kind of round will be, but if you want to be notified, if that's something that you're interested in, that you can sign up for our newsletter, and we'll definitely be emailing everyone when another round starts. So in that, we kind of go over like everything, all the things you need to know to write and make your own patterns. So we go talk through like sketching for your design, swatching for it, how to measure your body or use measurements to figure out the sizes that you're going to make your garment in or hat or whatever. There's some bits on grading and figuring out yardage calculations and using spreadsheets to do that. And what else do I talk about? Oh, like basically just what goes into your pattern. So all the different things that you need to include. And then actually this weekend or this week, I don't really have to, but I'm going to be filming a couple more things, basically about tech editors and sample knitters and those kinds of things. And then, sorry, I just have my board here of what I'm going to be filming. Like the differences between working with a third-party publisher and self-publishing patterns. And then I think I'm also going to do a little mini thing on like social media and promotions. So like how to grow your email list and how to grow your social medias and how to use social media and how to price your patterns, all those kind of things, where to advertise and do sales and all those kinds of things as well. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been taking me away from YouTube, is I have been filming things, just not for YouTube. Yeah, so we wrapped up our first course kind of 2-3 weeks ago, and I feel like it went really well. So if you were one of those people who who did that with us, great. I really enjoyed it, and we did a live Q&A at the end of it, so that was really fun. I think that's probably something that we'll continue to do. But yeah, it's really fun because like my sister has been the one to kind of organize this for me in a way that I can kind of understand and do. And she was saying that like I can just keep adding things to it. And so all the people that have done it already and future people, anything I add to it in the future, so like all these new kind of sections that I'm going to be adding, all the people that have already done the course are going to have access to them as well. So yeah, that's kind of what the big thing that we've been working on lately. And then lots of pattern releases. Oh, we did release a new pattern too, actually. A couple new patterns. I don't have any of them with me right now, but we have the let's get out.
Could I please give me a minute and please watch something?
Yeah, give me like 5 minutes.
On the iPad.
Oh, on the iPad? Yeah, sure. That's fine. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we have new patterns. So we had a pair of fingerless gloves, the saguaro mittens, and those have some like super cute cactus color work on them. They were a collaboration with designers Slip Sis, and I'll put their information down below. And then we have a shawl, beautiful shawl with mini skeins, kind of in a, what's it called? Marl, a little marled section that you can use with mini skeins. And that one was the reflection shawl, and that's again a collaboration with Fatima Hines. And then we have the little heart sweater, and that is a beautiful fingering weight sweater. It's like a dolman style, so it has kind of a nice oversized body, and it's tucked in kind of at the waist and hips. And then you use mini skeins to do this little like dotted color work across the body. Super cute. And that one is by Isabel. I know it. Like looking for my phone as I'm filming on my phone. Let's see. And that one is by Isabel Ryan. So yeah, we actually have 3 new patterns. I'll make sure to link them all below as well. You won't find them in our, like in my designer area of Ravelry because they are not designed by me. We were collaborating with other people, which was really, really fun. They are all available on our website. And then we have some more patterns, 2 more patterns in kind of that little mini skein collection that are going to come out in the next little while. And that's, I think, about all. That's all. We only made a course and only released 3 patterns. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but it has been really nice to sit down with you and chat again for a little while. I hope to have more to share with you again as I have more time to knit and more motivation to knit. So yeah, I hope to see you again in a couple weeks. And yeah, so I hope to see you again in a week or 2, maybe a month, maybe 6 months again, who knows. Hopefully not that long. Hopefully this knitting mojo that I've got continues on, or I have other things to share with you. Yeah, so thanks so much for joining me, and we will see you soon. Bye.